Right, so we get this question involving real-world situation for quadratic equation. A rocket is launched into the air at a velocity of 256 feet per second from the ground level. The height h of the rocket in feet after t seconds is given by the equation h equals 16t squared by 16. Actually, it's going to be in negative here, so it's going to be like negative 16. All right, that's negative 16 t squared plus 256t. How long would it take the rocket to reach the ground? Right, so we have, we have rocket here, so let's try to draw a rocket here to give you like, so this is like rocket, this is the ground right here, right? So rocket was launched right here to, at velocity 256, and it's going to go all the way back to the ground, right? And the question is, how long will it take the rocket to reach the ground, right? So we're looking for t, right? For the time, how long will it take the rocket to reach the ground? And when the rocket reaches the ground, h will be 0, right? The height will be 0. There's no height. So this is like the height, like, at the maximum height right here, right? But when the rocket reaches to ground right here, so the height will be 0. So we're going to look for the time when h is 0. So we have the equation here. So we have the equation here, which is h equals negative 16 t squared, right, plus 256 t. And it has to be, we need to have negative 16, not a 16. That was a typo mistake. But we need to have negative because the coefficient must be negative. A must be less than 0. And because we have a parabola down, that represents quadratic equation when we have the coefficient which is next to t squared, which is negative 16 in this case, is less than 0. So we expect the parabola will go down. And that's exactly, so we can't have 16 there. So when h is 0, right? So when h is 0, we're going to solve for t. It's going to be like negative 16t squared plus 256t, right? And now we need to solve for t because we're looking for the time. Because they're asking for the time, how long will take the rocket to reach the ground here, right? So we're gonna solve for t. So let's switch this one to the left. Let's move this equation to the left right here. It's gonna be negative 16t squared plus 256t equals 0, right? And we can factor by negative 16. So we can factor by negative 16 here. So we're going to have like t squared. Well, we know that 256 is going to be 16 times 16. So it's going to be minus 16, right? So, and we can factor by 16t, by the way. We can factor by 16t here. So it's going to be like factor of t, not a t squared. So we can cancel this one here. It's going to be like factor of t minus 16 equals 0, right? So we have like two scenarios here. We have like negative 16 t equals 0 or t minus 16 will be 0, right? And we can solve for t from both sides here. So we're going to divide by negative 16. So we're going to have like t equals 0, or now we're going to solve for 16 here. We're going to add 16 on both sides, and we're going to have t equals 16, right? And of course, we're going to cancel t0 because it took some time that the rocket will reach the ground. So here we have like 0 time. So t equals 0 is not accepted, and we're going to accept this answer. So the rocket, right? So it took the rocket like 16 second to reach the ground. So it's going to be, the answer will be 16 second, right? So 16 seconds. That's how long it took the rocket to reach the ground.